Oh, my biddies, how are you today? I'm still eating, sorry. Kidlets just left. Well, I mean, just. They are so cute. Like everyone was going, no, take me. No, take me. I actually wanted to stay with Grandma today, which is nice. It's a nice feeling. 'Cause usually they're all about the Bubba, which is my husband. They're all about the Bubba. I'm usually chopped liver. And who wants that? It's gross. So I don't have any reality roundup or really anything going on. I'll hopefully have my car on Friday and I can go shopping. That's all I need is to do shopping this week. I should be shopping like every day. I have lots to do. Way too much. Usually I don't do it until like the week before Thanksgiving or the week before Christmas. I'm trying to get a jump on it so I'm not like scrambling like I usually am. My junior mints have adhered to the sides of the junior mint box. I wonder if I can open it from the other end. My fudge was apparently a hit. I maybe it's too close to the computer. Maybe that's the problem. Um, my daughter said that everybody liked my candies. So at my nephew's, I didn't stick around enough to get feedback. We really left before dessert. My husband didn't even get any pumpkin pie. Poor guy. I don't eat pumpkin pie, so but there was an apple pie there that looked pretty good. I'm not really a pie person. I don't need pie. If I have a cake, I'll choose that. Cookies, cake or cookies. I didn't even get a cookie. Now that I think about it, my daughter made cookies. I didn't even get one. Sugar cookies and our secret chocolate chip cookies, which are Hillary Clinton's chocolate chip cookies. For all you kids out there, did you know that Hillary Clinton won a chocolate chip cookie making contest against Barbara Bush? Yeah, her cookies were better and probably better for you because they have oatmeal in them. They're really good. You can just Google it; it comes right up. um, all right. I don't got any reality roundup because I didn't watch nothing. Yes, I know the syntax on that was incorrect. You could sue me. I don't think you'll get a lot of money because nobody cares. It's not that important. um, yeah, so I got nothing on that. Oh, what else is there? Oh, so there's a rumor going around that I don't know if everybody probably doesn't know, but Jen Arnold from The Little Couple. There's a rumor going around that she died. It's not true. It's not true. Just so you know. Um, she's alive and well and kicking. She looks good. She just posted to Instagram a few days ago. She looks really good. She's not sick. She's not even sick. So I don't know what all this nonsense is. AI stupidity is what it is. There was something else on AI that was wrong. Oh, they said that Amy Roloff got a divorce from Chris Merrick. Not true. I don't know if they're getting them up with mixed up with Matt and Karen because they did break up in July. It's a craziness. I don't understand it. Silly, silly, silly craziness. All right. So I guess we'll just jump right into it since we're here alone again. This is from Am I the Jerk? And it's entitled AITJ for refusing to use the homemade soap my mother-in-law made me after I broke out in hives. No, you're not. You are not the jerk. Why would you think you were the jerk? Why do people ask such silly questions? Seriously, why? My mother-in-law, 58 female, recently got into soap making. Cute hobby. She made bars for everyone with scents like lavender, citrus, etc. She gave me a bar labeled special batch just for you. I tried it that night and woke up with hives all over my neck and chest. Turns out she mixed in crushed dried flowers. I'm allergic. She knows about the allergy. When I told her, she said, "That's impossible. Natural ingredients don't cause reactions." Natural ingredients can kill you. Um, Arsenic is a natural ingredient. It's literally in your apples. It can kill you and does. Then she doubled down. Maybe your skin is detoxing toxins. Girl, get away from your mother in law. She is crazy. She is insane. Why are people like this? Why are people so anti science and stupid? It drives me insane. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. I stopped using it, went back to my normal products. Good for her. She's now offended because I rejected her gift and told my husband I'm disrespecting her creativity. You're disrespecting your daughter-in-law's allergies, which is more important. Sorry, I'm in a tear today already. I'm on a tear today already. My husband thinks it's ridiculous, but I asked if I could just pretend to use it to keep the peace. I said no, I'm not faking an allergic reaction. Am I the jerk? Absolutely not. Absolutely not the jerk. Your mother-in-law is. I can tell you who the jerk in this relationship is, and it's not OP. Why would you give somebody something they're allergic to and that you know they're allergic to? I can understand having a, you know, even a lapse of memory, but she literally said you couldn't be allergic to it. Oh crap, I forgot. Oh my goodness. Is the proper answer to that. Not get over yourself because you don't have an allergy. Weirdos. Previous Marshmallow says, I'm allergic to dust, mold, grass, cats, and dogs, all things that are natural. NTJ, your mother in law is insane. I am also allergic to dust, mold, grass, and dogs, but not cats. And my husband's allergic to cats, so we can't have dogs or cats, which really kind of stinks. Now I'm kind of, saw something about hedgehogs the other day, and I'm kind of wanting a hedgehog. Don't want a hedgehog. They're cute. They're supposedly very social, which is what I would want. Hamsters not so much social. They're cute, but spicy dumplina, I like that. Says allergies don't take a day off because it's homemade or organic. Mother-in-law is completely unreasonable here. Havanese mom says, I think she did it on purpose, and I do too. Yeah. It would not surprise me if she did it on purpose. Because some people are just like that. Complete and utter weirdos. Sorry, I'm still eating. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Almost all the candy I made is gone. I have one piece of each left. I split one of the pieces of Oreo cream fudge in two. I gave it to the boys. William, of course, refused to eat it. He's all stink pot. Brandon says, this is good. He's so cute. They're both cute. They're both very cute. I have one lemon left, one Oreo fudge left, and one of the peanut butter cluster things, which were also really good. Brandon ate half of one of those too, as well as the entire Oreo cookie thing. And my my daughter-in-law tried the one that William wouldn't eat, and she said she liked it. It's a little sweet. If you're not a sweets lover, you probably wouldn't like it. But if you like sweets and you don't mind if something's almost too sweet, you would like it. It's made with frosting and chocolate chips, white chocolate chips. It's very good. Okay, next we have entitled people. Entitled Thanksgiving guest wants to come by the day after and get some love leftovers. You're not entitled to the leftovers. If somebody wants to give you them, that's fine, but you're not entitled to leftovers of anything, really. I mean, that's hostess gift to me. My leftovers are a hostess gift. Unless they want to get rid of them, and that's fine too. Usually, my husband and I travel for Thanksgiving, but this year there was a concert the day after Thanksgiving that we wanted to attend. So we stayed home and hosted a small Thanksgiving dinner for friends and family, 8 people total. I extended the invite to my cousin Janice, female 44, whom I rarely see or even speak to, even though she lives less than half an hour away. Janice came. She arrived less than 5 minutes before I told her we were going to eat, and she left before we even had pie. She was on her phone during the blessing, and most of the time she was there. When she announced that she was leaving, I asked if she wanted to take home a meal because I was going to have plenty of leftovers. She said, "Not now. I'm not going home. I'm going to meet a friend at a movie theater." I thought this was a little rude, but I didn't say anything, and she left without really saying goodbye to anyone. Friday late afternoon, early evening, my husband and I are heading out to the concert, and my phone rings. It's Janice. She wants to swing by the house and get some leftovers from the Thanksgiving dinner. I was totally gobsmacked. I told her we were I told her no, we were heading to the concert and we were not home. She literally asked if she could come back so she could get some leftovers. She was miffed when I said no. We are not turning around just so she could get some leftovers. Heck no. We want to be at that concert early. Get in your seats and get comfy so you don't have to fight with the crowd. I told her if she wanted leftovers, she should have taken them when they were offered. I've not heard anything any other family members. I'm sure I will at least hear from her mother, my aunt. But most of the family, including my aunt, know that Janice has never been known for her manners. Also, I will not be inviting Janice to any other events that I host. I would just told her all. I'm sorry, I gave all the leftovers to everybody else. I lie. I will die to save myself from this kind of nonsense. Two dogs, three tents says looks like Janice got herself blacklisted. Trick View says her mom should be embarrassed by Janice's behavior. She should. Like, this is your kid and she's acting like this? Behave, people. If it's not yours, don't take it. And most of the time, it's not even yours, so don't take it. All right, next we have malicious compliance, and it's entitled You Will Need to Tie Your Hair Up. So during the 1970s, my dad's worked for the Royal Mail, British Postal Service, as a postman. Like many men at the time, he had long hair just below his shoulders. The 70s, yeah, that was the hippie thing. Actually, the hippie thing was almost over by the mid 70s. Depends on where the 70s were. The hair was a little longer back then than what most people were used to before then. His managers had an issue with this and told him he needed to sort his hair out and tie it up if he wasn't going to get it cut. Now my dad is an a-hole and it came in candy here. He went home that day and told my mom, and she agreed to get up early to tie his hair for him for work. The next day he went to work in the most delightful pigtails tied up with some lovely pink ribbons. My dad greeted his manager and said he tied his hair up as requested and then went off to do his rounds. He wore his pigtails for a week before coming back with his hair down after a week off and never got crap for her again. This is how you comply with stupid things. Like, his hair's not hurting anybody. Nobody cares that much. Stop it. Piloted by Go says, when I was at school, the rule was boys' hair could not touch their collar. So one lad who was told off about his massive Jufro had the back and sides of his head shaved, leaving his hair absurd curly platform on his head. I overheard two teachers angrily discussing how ridiculous it looked, but it was within the rules, so they couldn't do anything about it. This was in 1994. None of us could have predicted that in 30 years. That would be an actual haircut that teenage boys got because I thought it was cool. Yeah, we had one kid in my school he was native and he did have his hair long. And we had one teacher that complained about it all the time. Told him he needed to get a haircut, et cetera, et cetera. He finally did cut it off sometime in high school. And then he wore a shirt to school once that had a hole in it. It was like an underwear shirt and it had a hole in it. It was cold in that building. He had every right to to wear that. This was during the energy crisis and everybody was freezing inside. Um And she complained about that too. And he says, but it shows off my one chest hair. Oh, you gotta love him. I'm still friends with his sister on Facebook. Oh, well, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Well, it's just compliance, and in 20, 30 years, it's a hair. It's an actual do. This is from subreddit AITAH entitled AITAH for not firing the cleaning lady because my girlfriend asked me to. Yeah, probably. Throwaway count. This is a dumb argument, but I need people to weigh in. My male 42 have a cleaning lady who comes every other week. She's super hardworking, really nice, and I completely trust her. Oh, maybe he's not. Maybe the girlfriend doesn't live with him or something. She comes in while I'm at work, and I get to come home to a clean house. The best feeling. One time she told me she drank a can of Pepsi from my fridge and even asked if she could pay me back. I told her she 100% has my permission to take a break, eat, drink whatever she wants while she's there. Since then, she'll occasionally have a pop, a glass of juice, or once she had a piece of toast. She's never helped herself to any meals, snacks, or anything beyond that. She seems like a lovely lady. My girlfriend, female 38, was over the other night and she saw my cleaning lady stealing from the fridge. I told her she wasn't stealing and that she has my permission and she's definitely not sitting around being lazy. She was taking a break. My girlfriend says it's weird and unprofessional and that could lead to boundary crossing. I've told her I've known this woman for 2 years and nothing like that has ever happened. Girlfriend thinks I should fire her before it gets worse. No, you're not the a-hole. Am I wrong for thinking, why did I change something that's been working perfectly fine? Am I being weird? No, you're not being weird. Um, Klutzy Contest says, NTA, your cleaning lady has followed predetermined rules and is not taking advantage of you. As you said, she is hardworking and doing what you agreed with. Why mess with what's not broken? And OP says exactly my argument. Worldly Grade says, I would make sure she hasn't abused your cleaning lady in any way, as in verbal. You don't want her to chase off your gem of a cleaning lady. True. Yeah. Ladybug says, true. She was already sitting there spying on the woman doing her job and then getting offended that she dare take a soda. World as Chaos says, and then doubles down when told it's inappropriate. OP doesn't have a cleaning lady problem, they have a girlfriend problem. And that is for sure. And there is an update. So this is AITAH. I better make sure that we don't have this listed for later in the month. Probably not, but I want to be sure. AITAH. November. Good. I don't see it. Okay, cool. We is good. All right. This is a post update. Wow, I had no idea a silly debate between me and my girlfriend would blow up like this. It ended up on our popular. I talked to her and she said she thinks it's weird that my cleaning lady can grab something to eat or drink. He said it was okay. He encouraged her to do it. She's not doing anything weird. She said it'd be better if she brought her own stuff. I was like, the woman goes to multiple clients a day. She can't be carrying a whole suitcase of snacks on top of the vacuum mop and everything else. I have cleaned houses. Bringing food is just impossible. It's ridiculous. It's not like she's raiding my whole fridge, so who cares? He's just being a very nice person, a very good guy. My girlfriend says it just makes her uncomfortable. And she asked why I even need a cleaning lady when I live in a 2-bedroom, and she told me just be an adult and clean your own place. She said I don't need a cleaning lady to mommy me. It was like she's not I was like she's not mommying me. She's a huge help and my place looks amazing after she leaves. Then she said when we move in and get married, the cleaning lady has to go because she doesn't like strangers in her house. And then I need to get off my ass and do my part. I told her I don't get her logic at all. She doesn't charge much. I can easily afford her, and my house looks great. What's the issue? She's going on about how I'm being lazy and acting like a man baby, and that I should act like an adult. I told her I'm 42. For my 40th birthday, I hired a cleaning lady as a gift to myself because I wanted my free time to relax, and I'm not changing that. I honestly have no effing clue what your problem is. I just don't get it. She hung up. Probably because he cussed at her. Whatever. I'm honestly too old for this crap and I'm going to bed. Thanks, everyone. Final update. She said that she can't waste her time with a lazy man who would rather give full control of her house to a maid instead of getting off his butt to do cleaning in the house himself. I told her best of luck. She told me to go F yourself. Looking forward to spending the holidays with my son this year in my very clean house. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, you're dodging a bullet there, dude. She is just a controlling biatch. She's just controlling. She has to she can't have somebody in her space. Really? Come on. We don't cleaning people do not get into your private stuff. They don't. It's silly. Unless you give them permission to or you tell them to. I used to clean, I know. For the worst job I ever had. I hated that job. It wasn't so much the cleaning, it was the management. She was horrible. She was horrible. It was her way and everything always. And like if you agreed to work for a certain amount of time, you had to be there until it ended, even if you had something else planned. Like I agreed to be here till 5. I gotta go. No, you can't leave. I'll fire you. That's okay. I got accepted to college and I'd already finished college, but I got accepted to college and went, so um it was cool. Got out of that job. Never went back except I cleaned my own house. I want a cleaning lady. All right. This is from Just Snow Mill. Mother-in-law says my belly is too small for my pregnancy and I'm hurting the baby inside me. Like you have control over that? And it's flared. Am I overreacting? Probably not. Hello. Short story. I visited pregnant, first time mom. I wasn't even showing until I was 5.5 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant with my first. Today, my husband asked about my belly size, and he asked me if his mother said anything about it. I said no. She mentioned that people she knew had bigger bellies for that far along in their pregnancy. Anyways, he starts asking me if something happened to the baby inside my belly, would I know, and stuff like that. Okay, he sounds clueless. Maybe clue free. Maybe he wants to be clueless. I don't know. I said, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Maybe there would be signs, but why are you so worried? So basically, her stupid comments that she made behind my back to his family are giving him doubts and crap. It's affecting me and stressing me out. We've never had a good relationship with me and her, and he doesn't even have that good of a relationship with her. Anyway, am I overreacting? Any tips to handle this? Should I just avoid all and any visits? I rarely see them and always maybe once every month or two. Also, she kept bringing up how she's going to have a party every time she bathes my child. Who the F said you were going to bathe him? But that's a post for another time. Yeah, my first one I probably wasn't showing until at least 5.5 months, 6 months, and then it ballooned, man. It came on fast and heavy. I got stretch marks to prove it. Restless Monkey says your mother-in-law's an idiot. Wow, just wow. Yeah, exactly. She is an idiot. She is not a smart person. Smart. That's so silly. It's such a silly thing to be concerned about. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like some people have little basketball bellies, and some people are pregnant everywhere, like I was. So it's silly. Our next subreddit is Server Life, and it's entitled "My Boss Who Fired Me a Year Ago Texted Me Last Week. Here's my possible response." And he does have a text to show us. I wish I could say I appreciate you reaching out, but the truth is I don't. It's been about a year since you fired me from Acme, Acme restaurant, and I'm glad you now see the truth. Now, here's my truth. I love my job as a bar manager. Every day, no matter what, I felt so happy and so thankful and so grateful to be there. I not only love the creativity, the craft, but most importantly, the community, the people I met, and the people I worked with. I worked with the people I worked with. I can't even. There we go. I was looking forward to growing with the business, and as far as I understood, that was the plan, our plan. I gave all my I gave my all to your family's business, and to be brushed off and blindsided, let go over a phone call with nothing from uh, the owner's parents, and only a few words from you. It hurt more than hurt. I was broken. In fact, I'm still healing. Thank you for your honesty, but unless you or your family have a way to make up for everything that happened, I don't want to hear from you again. Good for you, standing your ground. My old general manager sent me a long text for clarity. They're the owner's kid and fired me a year ago after I brought up illegal labor practices. You can search my history if you want. I did post about it, but the company ended up paying almost $100,000 in stolen tips and overtime to pay employees after they fired me, and I reported them. Good for you. For a few years, it was just me as a bar manager and my GM were tight. We decided almost everything together for 2 years. Then I hired this server that worked her way into a assistant general manager, which took me by surprise because it was in my contract that that's what I would be working up to. So they lied. As previously stated, the general manager's parents own the business. I was also professionally close with them. They trusted me and I trusted them. Business was good. The bar was making profit for the first time ever. Then a bartender brings up to me that her tip pool was short, and I take a look and she's right. I bring it up. I'm met with silence. Everything seemed off. A week later, I was fired over the phone on my day off. That's just cowardly. Come to find out, this new server assistant GM that came in had been falsifying my clock ins, making it look like I'm late, spreading lies about things I never said. I could go on and on. Yeah, you gotta look at history sometimes on that. Like, have they been late before? Have they ever done this? Have they said anything? If not, then you might want to look at somebody else, especially the new person. Anyway, now it's a year later. I'm in the grocery store and I see my old GM. He looks great, a lot healthier. I've heard he's gotten sober, so happy for him. I didn't think he saw me, so I jumped, turned and down just turned down the other aisle. We live in a smaller, tight knit town. In other words, people still know me as the bar manager of this business, and I have to explain to them that I'm actually working in another town now. It's also impossible not to run into each other. Surprised it took them and I so long to see each other. Yeah, some small towns are like families. Can't get away from anybody. After I thought I got away from him spotting me, he sends me a long text. I can't post it here. There are too many personal things. But it's about 6 paragraphs of apology on how he was wrong, manipulated by that other person. I've mentioned that he's so sorry. It's been a week and I still haven't responded, but I want to. So here's my draft. Why did it take him to he saw you to apologize? As soon as he realized he was wrong, he should have apologized. I know I'm better off staying silent and not saying a word, but I want them to know that they were wrong. They did hurt me and their actions have consequences. They already did, considering how much they had to pay out in labor dispute, but still. So here's the draft I've topped up. Should I just no, you should not. Anyways, thanks for reading. I got home from work and I'm cracking open a teary-eyed beer. um, no. Like I said, he should have done that as soon as he found out that he had been manipulated into firing her. He should have come forward and said, "Hey, I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry. If you ever want a job again at the place, you can come back to us." Acme Restaurant, that's what we're calling it. Sorry, I was just watching Roadrunner. Coyote. with the kids. They love that show. I don't know why. They love that one and they love uh this little hamster maze show on YouTube and this dumb track it's not even tractor. It's based on Farming Simulator and it's so bad. It's so bad I can only stand it for a certain amount of time. I set a timer. It's like you have 25 minutes to watch this and you'll be done for at least an hour. And then we also watch Babes in Toyland, like the original with Laurel and Hardy. Really weird. Really weird show. Cute, but there were some weird parts in there. I'd never seen that version before. I think I saw a more um up to date version. I think they remade it in like the 80s or the 90s. But that was the original 1936 or 39 or something like that. 1930s. Yes, I watch movies from 1930s. I'm a snob. I have a shirt to prove it. um So we're not watching our regular, watching every kids movie ever made that we can find for free, and going on to Christmas movies that were every Christmas movie that was ever made that we can find for free. And for free covers a lot of stuff because I have almost all of the things. I don't have Netflix right now, but I have pretty much all of the other things. Our next read is from Petty Revenge. A man was very rude to my grandma, so I got revenge. I was shopping with my grandmother for Thanksgiving at the local supermarket. It's very busy and all the carts make everything go very slow to move. I hear a disgruntled harumph from behind me and I see some 40-something-year-old man almost ramming his way through. He hits the cart my grandmother is holding and jostling her slightly. A clear accident, I would have thought I heard him say, Some people are really rude." I almost did a double take when I heard that. To say that this annoyed me was an understatement. We tried to brush it off and continued shopping. About 5 minutes later, I see him again walking toward the bathroom. I immediately have a brilliant idea. I tell my grandmother I'm going back to the produce section and hurry off. I find his cart quickly because he had a lot of water stacked in it. I wheel the cart off in the opposite direction and take it to the other side of the store and wedge it in a corner out of everyone's way near the employee entrance. Walking back to my grandmother with a smile on my face. While the checkout line, in the checkout line, I see him walking around confused with a really ugly mug. Grandma asked why I was smiling so much, and I told her I just remembered something funny. Now, see, I hope my grandkids can share with me what they did because I would be all over this. One core says, "This I applaud you as a grocery store worker. Some folks are just buttholes that need to be checked." This is true. There was no reason for him to act like that. Everybody's in the store. It's a pain in the butt to shop right before the holidays. Actually, because I didn't have a car, I actually had everything delivered. And even that wasn't good. 'Cause I ended up with an entire freaking gallon of chocolate milk. I ordered a half gallon. I know I ordered a half gallon. No, I have an entire freaking gallon of chocolate milk. My husband asked if he could drink it. I said, "Please, please drink it." I also got organic green which I know they charged me for. I forgot to put no substitutions. I always forget that. Stupid. Yeah, you mean like the folks that stop in the middle of the aisle so no one can get around them? Yeah, I sometimes do that, but I will at least apologize when I realize that I'm being a butt. When you feel realize you're being a butt, you can't apologize. Goes a long way. Digi Writer says, "OMG, this! I'm so flabbergasted how clueless and inconsiderate people are with their buggies. Sideways stopped next to the display that already blocked half the aisle, or two chatty Cathys, each facing the opposite direction, that stopped talking to each other, blocking the whole aisle, or my favorite, the entitled Karen who is just browsing, but has to have her empty cart in front of her, and must stroll leisurely around directly alongside the meat, cheese, refrigerated coolers, ignoring everyone trying to get into the coolers." Oh, well, I'm sorry. You must probably think that's me, and I am not browsing. I am looking for something. I actually had one recently load her groceries into her trunk and then push the cart over behind my truck. I guess not realizing I was in it and then get into her car like she was going to drive off. People, return your carts to the cart corral and nest them. It is 2 minutes of your time at most, probably more like 30 seconds, and it will help everyone. Be kind. I got out and moved her car back behind her car and then got in my car and pulled out. She had to wait and then get out of her car to move the cart again. And yes, I sat in my car watching to make sure she took it back to the buggy corral. Glare all you want, biatch. You know what you did, and so do I. Oh, yeah, I don't take the carts back. It's not that hard. You got the cart, you used the cart, take the cart back. It's also why I like Aldi. Although Aldi, people at Aldi are so nice because you have to use the the quarter to get your cart. But half the time I go there, more than half the time, almost all the time I go there, there's a cart sitting there with a quarter in it, just waiting. And I put it back, and I don't take the quarter back out. I just leave it for somebody else. Do get your quarter back at the end of the thing, but um, one core says I have legit jumped into speakerphone conversations. They'll be like, "Who is that?" Oh, the grocery lady. If I can hear it, darn right, I'll be adding my 2 cents. Uh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Says, OMG, this might become my newest hobby. My sister and I used to stage random conversations when we went grocery shopping together. She would take her cart off to one section while I went another way, and if we spotted each other in an aisle, we'd act like long lost friends who had just had to catch up on the latest gossip. That's fun. Did you hear that Lois left Jeffrey? She caught him wearing her mother's dress, and it pissed her off and that he looked better in it. Oh, really? I heard their kid was caught naked with another kid in the locker room at school. You mean Desmond? That kid gets around. Remember the old elderly lady that caught him with last August? And their daughter, Grace, she got caught cheating on her husband on their honeymoon. It was all made up on the spot, and we loved it when people would suddenly spend several minutes pretending to read labels on bottled water or something just so they could hear our stories. We would only do it when the store wasn't too busy so as not to mess with the flow around us. It was the most fun we ever had grocery shopping. My BFF says that she wants to go grocery shopping, but she's going to shop in other people's carts and record it. It's like too bad somebody's probably already done that. But that was before cell phones, so she came up with the idea. So she came up with it first. All right, it's time for expectation versus reality. And we're sharing. We are sharing. Oops, I gotta do that. I gotta do that. And I gotta do that. Yay, there we go. It's a very nice haircut. Would you like this haircut? I mean, I wouldn't like this haircut because I'm not a guy, but it's a nice haircut. Should we see what he got? Because I'm afraid. I'm very, very nervous. I mean, it could be worse, but why'd they cut it so short? It's not supposed to be short like that. I'll have to show that to my daughter-in-law. She cuts hair. Obviously, I don't utilize her enough. I will this spring, though. I'm getting a haircut this spring. I don't like to get a haircut in the winter because it keeps because I like to get it cut really short, and it keeps my neck warm in the winter. The only reason I keep it long at all. It doesn't look that bad from the side, but I swear it to you, it's terrible. The fringe is extremely short when I specifically asked for it to be left like it was. Yeah, he needed it. It's too short. They cut it too short, and they didn't style it. He needs to style it. So background manners says not bad at all. Just style it with some hair product, maybe not a gel, but like a paste. And OK Bug says, yeah, like a pomade or wax. A little goes a long way. Try it on a weekend to get an idea of how, not some morning right before school or like picture day. Yeah, you don't want to do that on picture day. But yeah, that hairstyle that he wanted needs something. It needs product. When I wear my hair short, I put a lot of more product in it. and I do when it's long. All right, it's that time again. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you know when I'm live. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually around noon Eastern time, usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Of course, this week it's Monday, Tuesday, late on Wednesday, Thursday, and not Friday. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled submission. If you would like an email link to the current day's live, send an email entitled subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com, and is also in the description below. Also, please tell everybody. Tell everybody. It's not about the Reddit reads. It's not about the roundup. It's about the community. We want a community. We want to, for someone who needs a community. That's what we want to provide here. All right, and then we have Zillow Gone Wild. Oh, remember that Disney themed mansion in northern Utah that couldn't sell? And it looks like it did not sell because that happened. Was that the one that I've been trying to sell for 10 years and no one wants it? Meaty Bacon down below says sniff sniff looks like insurance for smells like insurance fraud. They're not wrong. It kind of do. It kind of does. Um, okay, we have more pictures. We have pictures from way back, so we can still look at them, even though it's not there anymore. It does kind of look like one of the lodges at Disney World. It's nice. Make a nice Airbnb. I don't think is this even Disney themed. This is just a nice big house, bigger than I need for sure. Unless all my kids were living with me. That is a lot of sitting space. Oh, that's kind of cool. Bedroom is ginormous. Okay, that's too much marble. Too much marble. Interesting. That's Gilligan's Island here. We have Gilligan Island room. There are beds, so it's. Oh, I wonder if those are beds too. I wonder if the boats are beds. That's kind of cool. I can see kids liking that. Yep, they're beds. Look at that. They're beds. Oh, that's cool with the swan masthead. That's really cool. That's creepy. That's all she wrote. It even has the tunnels, just like Disney World. Okay. Well, that was fun. All right. This is really short. This is from Traumatize Them Back. It's entitled Dick Pics, Dick Pictures. And it's flared matched energy. Before I was married, men would send me unsolicited dick pics. Guys, stop it. Stop doing that. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to see it unless they're also in the market to touch it. Nobody wants to see it. What made it weird that a lot of times I knew them for all of 5 minutes. I got annoyed, so how I dealt with it was look pictures of dicks and send them dick pics back. Yes, that's how you do it. Then they would get so angry and ask why I did that. I was fine now. You know how I feel. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Patient transition says, try this. Is that a child's penis? Did you send me a child's penis? Almost insta block. Two insults in one. You're insulting their size, and you're insulting, and you're accusing them of being a pedophile. That's excellent. Yes. I love it. I've never actually gotten one of those, thank goodness, and I don't need one. I have I have one that I'm in the market to touch, so I don't need another one. All right, this is from Confession, and it's entitled "My Mom Just Took Her Own Life, and It's My Fault, and I Don't Know How to Move Forward." Oh, that's horrible. I left my home. I left home after my mom threw hot coffee on my leg and it literally burned me. I stayed at a motel for a couple of days until my aunt arrived to pick me up. Last night, my aunt talked to me, and I could tell it was urgent. I thought it was going to be about school and how to move forward from here, but it wasn't. She told me that my mom is gone and I don't know how to feel. The last message I told her was, I know you hate me because I look like my dad. She left my message unseen and didn't respond. I'm flying home tomorrow night alone to take care of things, and I don't know how. I feel like I'm going to be blamed by everyone. I begged my aunt to join me, but she told me that she used her savings to get me and would have to wait until her next paycheck before she can follow me. I'm scared to go on my own, and I asked her to sell my phone so she can come with me. I can't help but blame myself. If I stayed, I forgive her, she would still be there. My last message to her was about my dad, and I felt triggered, like I triggered something. I still love her despite everything, and I needed some space from all the abuse I endured. I don't know what to do. I'm beyond scared to go alone, but my aunt can't afford to book 2 plane tickets at the moment. Edit, thanks for everyone's comforting word. I appreciate you for all that. And sorry I couldn't reply to everyone's comments, but I'm reading it. That's heartbreaking. I'm sorry, OP. Textile Factory No says, your mom was not well and you are not to blame. Get therapy. Sorry for your loss. And the OP says, my aunt told me this and literally told me no matter what her relatives say, it's not my fault. That's entirely true. It's not. It's not anyone's fault. But there's guilt in me, and part of my brain is telling me that she would still be here if I just forgave her and moved on. I'm her only son, and ever since my dad passed, it's the two of us. Now I feel like I'm all alone. OP, poor thing. It's horrible. Oh, I can't even imagine his pain and thinking that he was responsible, and he's not responsible. His mom was obviously in a place that she couldn't get out of. Um, Probably part of the cause of the abuse in the first place was that she was in a place where she couldn't get out of, if you know what I mean. Okay. We'll go on for something a little more happy. This is interesting AF. I planned this shot by tracking the moon rising direction and overlaying it on Google Maps. So that's really cool. This is really cool. It's a really cool shot. That is awesome. Look at that. That is so beautiful. You ever been up in the St. Louis Arch? I have. My dad finally took me when I was, I don't know, I had a kid, 35. No, 40. 42, I think. It's like 42. He finally took me up in the arch. We get in St. Louis all the time because uncle lived um my uncle lived in Missouri, but his well, my great uncle lived in St. Louis. That is so neat. Very good job. Very good Photoshop job. There used caveat cognitor. So there used to be this app called the Photographers Ephemeris that sunset years ago. Upon searching it now, it seems to be there's a spiritual, if not actual, follow-up Photomerifus. In the past, I found it invaluable for planning such shots. And he says that he did use that app. That's cool. Good for you, OP. This is from Emma the A-hole, AITA, for walking out of the restaurant and leaving my friend. Probably not. It's usually reasons. And it is flared, not the a-hole, so probably not. My girlfriends and I went to a restaurant 2 days ago. I was the designated driver. I ordered my meal and they ordered their meal. I went to take a picture of my plate, and before I could even take the picture, one of them used her fork to stir up my food. Well, that's rude. I got upset and asked her why she would do that, and she told me it was cringe to take pictures of food. I could tell the other girls were uncomfortable, but no one stood up for me. All I wanted was a dang pic because my plate presently was presented beautifully. I got upset and I walked out of the restaurant and drove home, leaving them behind. When I got home, I asked who paid for my meal and told her the cost. They started texting me and telling me it was just a joke. It's not funny. It's not funny. I hope you didn't think it was funny. It's not funny. What I did was immature, and that was wrong for me to leave them behind, considering I was the driver. Should have thought of that before you mess with somebody's food. Don't mess with my food. Have you seen me? Don't mess with my food. I do feel like I overreacted, but I also feel like what she did was mean. AITA. Edit. I did tell my friends I was going to leave. I don't want to be here anymore, and then left. My meal was steak, gravy, mash, and caviar. It had hibiscus plant on it since people are assuming it was pasta. Not sure if that's important information or not. The girls who didn't stand up for me laughed at the situation awkwardly, and I would tell they were uncomfortable that they didn't say a word. The person who paid for my meal was one of the girls who laughed, not the person who stirred my plate. I was only trying to take a picture of my plate. I wasn't holding anyone back from eating their food. Why would you think that? I have to check something real quick. Sorry. Oh, okay. The little one is having his first dentist appointment right now, so she's sending pics. So that's the 4-year-old, not the little one. So I will have to look at those in a minute. I should text back. I'm working here. High altitude said, what in the world does a person have the gall to dig around in your fresh plate of food, mocking you for taking a picture of it, treat your objection like it was a joke, and then expect you to entertain their disgusting company for the rest of the evening and chauffeur them home? That person should be banished to live in a closeted convent in the outskirts of Siberia until she learns how to use manners when interacting with others. You are not the a-hole, and it was classy to pay for your food later. The next time, it's time to shed some people off your friends' lists. Dependent Feed says, and I like how they called OP immature because it's not immature to mix up OP's food to ruin a photo. They ruined her plate. They mixed it all up. I would have left too. Yeah, and some of those things might not have gone together, and I wouldn't have paid for it. I didn't eat it or enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, it had caviar in it, and after Wilderness said agreed, it sounds as though it was an expensive meal and she ruined it. No apology, nothing. And first sign SINE, math person of madness. I would have signs of madness. I hate math. The first person who ended up paying asked you to pay them, then tell them to talk to the food wrecker because her fork was in the food more than yours. I would hope that they would like at least have it boxed up for her and drop it off. I would do that too, as well as pay for it, and I wouldn't expect payment back because that was BS. This is from subreddit Overheard. Overheard in a diner at 2 a.m. A man in a suit was sitting alone talking to the waitress. He said, I have been at this company for 20 years, and today my boss's son got promoted over me. She said, that sucks, honey. Do you want pie? And he said, yes, please, something sweet before I start over. She came back with a slice and said, this is what new beginnings taste like. And he smiled. He might actually believed her. Oh, that's nice of her. I hope it was free pie. I hope she gave it to him on the house because he deserved it. But that's what happens when you're in a family business. The kids are going to get promoted over you every time. It's nepotism. It just happens. That's just how it is. Somebody answered, I was with my daughter, 18, in a restaurant one time. She was having a really bad day and crying a bit. The waitress bought her warm brownie ice cream on the house. Years later, she still mentions it from time to time. Small gestures of kindness can have a big impact. Yes, they can. Next, we have Bye Bye Job. Federal worker says she is being fired by Trump administration after speaking on MSNBC about the shutdown. I believe that's called MS Now. I don't even know what it's called anymore. I keep changing names. I'm too old for this. So it's in Women's Magazine if you want to look it up. It's federal worker says she's being fired by Trump administration after speaking on MSNBC about the shutdown. She's from the Department of Ag, and she learned she would be fired for being on MSNBC. Like, there's no free speech at all. Her name is Ellen May, MEI, which I believe is pronounced me, Ellen Me. And they're firing her 30 days after. Um, she's a program specialist. Talked about how her coworkers are dealing with it. The next day, the Post reported a human resources official informed her she would be fired 30 days after the shutdown ended. That's BS, man. The agency, without prior approval, gave her 20 days to contest her termination. I hope she contests it. We need people like her. Me said she had told the Post she had done many media interviews before, including radio and newspaper conversations in Boston, where she lives. She believes the attempt to follow her is retaliation, and you can't fire people for retaliation. It's illegal. That's an illegal firing. She was sharing her own personal view and not representing the agency, just like I wasn't on October 2nd. So, yeah, that's too bad. Sorry, Ellen. I hope you fight it. Fight it. Fight them for all you got because this administration needs to be fought. This is from Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting with being outraged by this? Okay, we do have text messages, of course, or a screenshot of something anyway. I believe it's text. This is Hi Beth, just checking in. I hope you are doing well. How would you like to forward your share of the cost for everything to me? Your share is $500. I've already made arrangements with everyone else. Didn't hear from you. Safe travels. And her answer is between surgery and travel, I may need to do installments. I kind of expected her to have life insurance for these expenses. Interesting. That'd be fine. Thanks, Beth. Hi again. You can also put your share of 500 on the bill tomorrow on your credit card and then pay it off as you wish. That's what Josh will be doing. See you tomorrow. And she answers, I do not have available credit. My mom passed and my aunt has taken over the funeral arrangements. I'm sorry, OP. That's really sad. Man, there's a lot of death days in this one, isn't there? Why are people dying before the holidays? They're supposed to wait till after. Rude people. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. It's dark humor. My mom passed and my aunt has taken over funeral arrangements. I had assumed my mom had life insurance, but as I had been in low contact with my family, it's very possible I'm mistaken. But if she didn't, I understand we all need to pitch in. Bear in mind, I just had surgery a couple of weeks ago that was $5,000 out of pocket. I'm also the only one that had to fly in. Everyone else is within driving distance. I'm just kind of mad she's presumptuously suggesting that I put it on a credit card. So am I overreacting? No. And even if your mom had life insurance, it doesn't kick in that fast. So you would have to pay out a, the funeral expensive no matter what, unless you prepaid her funeral, which people do. Financial Coffee says, has she given you a breakdown cost? It's an awfully round number as a split. I ask because someone takes over after someone dies. Well, there's a lot of underhanded stuff that goes on. Believe me, I know my family screwed me out of a lot when my parents died. I'm sorry, Financial Coffee, that happened to you. That's why we have everything in writing. Nobody's going to be able to rip anybody else off. Not that my children would anyway, because they're all nice, decent human beings. Mr. Ed that horse. Mr. Ed the horse. THA, the horse, the horse. At 56 years old, I've known many people that have passed, and every time there's an argument about money. In my family, when my grandmother passed, her wishes were to send her property and split the money equally. One adult child still living there is such an a-hole that his siblings simply walked away to avoid the battle he presented. That's sad. And now no one speaks to him. Truly heartbreaking because we used to be a close knit family. That's not true. It's not every time. I've been My grandmother died, there was no argument about money. My grandfather died, there was no argument about money. My mother-in-law and father-in-law both passed away at different times. There's no argument about money. There's not always an argument about money. It depends on the family. Depends on the family and whether they're decent people or not. Aggressive Arm says, "Isn't it so heartbreaking and sad how death can literally split a family right down the middle? When my brother passed away due to, you know, our entire family got literally torn apart. So our dad was always a vicious, horrible alcoholic who treated my mom and myself and my brother like crap. He was violent and aggressive, especially when he was drinking. He'd sneak away to bars even if my mom was working and he was left with us. He'd leave us at the age of maybe and 5 to go to the bar and sit and drink and get drunk and then drive home plastered and scream at everyone and my mom for asking questions. It was horrendous and I wasn't surprised one little bit when my mom left my dad and a couple of weeks after my brother's funeral. My dad's side of the family now won't talk to my mom at all. That's crazy. I don't know. I don't talk to my dad or mom as they have always been toxic, and enough was enough in my eyes. So now I don't talk to any of my family. That's just how it is. I wonder if things could have been the same had my brother still been there. Well, probably. And my mom was still left and got remarried. My brother's partner doesn't even get me started on that jerk. Changed my niece's surname without telling any of us and from my brother's to her own. I can see that happening. Um, but she should have at least given you a heads up. Yeah, nothing weirder than family setups and the breakdowns of family after death is one of the added traumas of dealing with the grief that you're also dealing with family split. I'm sending love and prayers to anyone who's going through grief and loss at the moment. That's very nice, aggressive. Timely Bear said death didn't split people down the middle and it gave an opportunity for some to show their true colors, and that's the thing. That's the thing. And I'm hoping that when my dad dies, we don't have money problems. 'Cause I have a feeling that might happen based on some things that have been said that I don't officially know about. But when I officially know about them, I'll have stuff to say. All right, this is from Best of Redditor Updates. It says new to the sub update, AITA. We're not accepting my sister's relationship with my ex despite her having cancer as a teenager. No. And this has a new update. It says, so it was originally posted in, where was it originally posted? Or am I the a-hole? Okay. AITA for not accepting my sister's relationship with with my ex, despite her having cancer as a teenager. September 28th, 2021. Having cancer, did I just say this? Having cancer or being sick with anything does not excuse all of your behavior. You still have to be a decent person. And it's really not that hard to be a decent person. We're not asking for an angel. We're not asking for a hero. We're not asking for somebody who always does the right thing every time. We're asking for you to be decent about it. That's it. Don't be a jerk. My 25 female father married my stepsister's 23 female mother when I was 4 and she was 3. We lived together most of our lives in a family, and she and I were extremely close. She developed cancer when she was 14 and was sick for about 2 years. She's since made a full recovery. Good for her. During that time, my parents became understandably overprotective. They also asked a lot of me. I quit my extracurriculars so I could get a job. The money went for her medical bills so I could drive her to appointments. I didn't go to dances or any fun activities. I did need to I did needed to include her. That's wrong. That is so wrong. So wrong. Like, a kid still needs to be a kid, and if their sibling's sick, that should not fall on them. That's so sad. I did almost all of this willingly, the exception having quit my high school volleyball team. I did throw a bit of a tantrum about that, but it was swiftly punished. Poor OP. I think having one emotional breakdown was pretty chill given the circumstances. Anyhow, especially since she was only 15. You want to know a fit I'd throw at 15? Anyhow, I go to college and meet my ex, we'll call him Ben, when I'm a junior. We fall in love, blah, blah, blah. He and I move in together and we graduate, so we've been living together for about 3 years. We were serious until July when I walked into my bedroom and saw him effing my sister. No, having cancer does not excuse having an affair with your sister's fiance, boyfriend, husband, whatever it was. I broke it off, tears were shed, he moved out, etc. My sister apologized at first, but then backed off. I thought she was giving me space, but last week she called and asked if we could meet up. She told me that she and Ben were in love, and they were just telling me as a courtesy before they started posting pictures online. Distraught, I left her at the restaurant by herself and did not pay my portion of the bill. She later Venmoed me asking for the money. No, you asked for that meeting. That meeting is on you. Show my parents, who then called me to their house, telling me how disappointed in me they are for not supporting my sister's relationship with Ben. Your parents are horrible. They brought up the fact that because she had cancer as a teenager, she never learned proper social etiquette and has a hard time meeting people. BS. I don't buy this, in part because I've seen her socialize just fine, and since we spent a good chunk of the time together when she was sick, that would mean that I should have bad social skills as well by that logic. They then told me that if I don't accept my sister and Ben's relationship, they might have to go no contact with me. I reminded them that I am also their daughter and they should have understood my viewpoint, but they are adamant about this being me being jealous of her. No, it's not you being jealous of her, it's her betrayal of you. It's her betrayal. For the record, I'm not jealous of her. I'm not upset that Ben picked her over me. I'm sad about the end of the relationship and I do feel betrayed, but Lord knows that I don't want to be with a cheater. What I'm most upset is the fact that my sister chose Ben over me, that she slept with Ben, knowing he and I were in a long term committed relationship and continues to be with him, knowing how much it hurts me. Exactly. This is just a betrayal. Oh my goodness. Now no one in my immediate family is talking to me, and I'm getting messages from aunts, uncles, and cousins telling me that I'm an a-hole and a selfish bitch. Your family is horrible. Your family is horrible. They have no manners, no ethics, no morals, nothing. Edit. Thank you so much for your comments. This has gotten more attention than I expected, and I'm having trouble keeping up. So if I don't say thank you, then thank you. I've been given a lot of food for thought. To be honest, while I've had moments where I've been resentful or upset about my teenage years, I always thought that I did it for the right thing for my sister and for my family. And that time wasn't all miserable. I was very close to my sister, and we made things as fun as we could. But I didn't think of it as an abdication of my parents' responsibilities or that they were doing wrong by me, which many of you pointed out, and I definitely have a lot to think about. Well, I'm glad she's learning that how abused she was. Thank you again for making me feel less crazy about all of this. And there's an update. Sometimes you can only laugh. I got off the phone with my cousin who saw this post and he could explain a few things. I asked him why he was on Reddit instead of school. He asked me why I was in Reddit instead of work, and I said, touche. He told me that after my conversation with my mom, she went to his house and talked to my aunt, and here's the deal. Turns out my sister is not only in a relationship with Ben, but 4 months pregnant. Oh my gosh. Which means she and Ben were doing it longer than I even guessed. Apparently, my parents are so adamant that I forgive her because I'm already ruining their experience of their first grandchild. Too bad. Your daughter has no morals. That's right. I'm less important than my stepmom posting ultrasounds to Facebook. This is where we're at. Anyhow, I called off sick the rest of the day and I'm going to drink a lot of alcohol, like a lot of alcohol, and then start thinking about what the F I'm going to do. I think you should sober up before you start thinking about what you're going to do. Alcohol's not the answer, honey. I mean, sure, wallow, but wallow with ice cream, not alcohol. Update AITA, and this is so the original was September 28th, and this is October 6th. So what? A couple weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. I don't do math, especially when it involves days of the month crossing over to another month. I was asked for an update, and thus here I am. Two things to clarify before I update. I didn't have a crappy childhood. The favoritism started when my sister was diagnosed. I moved out soon after and have been pretty independent since then. Not saying that how my parents treated me during those years was okay, but I wasn't Cinderella. I did not drink myself to oblivion. I had two wine spritzers, but I appreciate the concern from folks. Okay, she didn't get drunk like a lot of alcohol. Well, you said you were having a lot of alcohol, sweetie. Now to the update. I got in touch with my sister and asked her to meet up again at the park, no bill involved. I asked her if she was pregnant and she told me the truth. She said she still wanted us to be in each other's lives and she wanted me to be in her babies. A Redditor, and I forgot who, I'm sorry, mentioned that she may ask me to be the godmother, and the person was correct. But as many of you pointed out, if I didn't cut her off, I'd just become her bank and daycare employee. So I told her I could no longer be in her life. I left her crying on a park bench and felt like the crappiest person in the world. I emailed my parents and told them how betrayed I felt and that I'd be cutting off contact with them. To my stepmom's credit, she apologized. She explained she never thought that my sister would live to have kids and that she let her emotion over that get the better of her. Understandable. My dad said nothing, which is honestly what sucked about the worst of this. Ben tried messaging me from a burner account for the first time since the breakup, but I blocked him without reading it. I didn't go nuclear and post the story to Facebook, and some suggested, but I sent an email to the extended family members who I care about. I explained the situation and how I be distancing myself from the family. Some have made it an us versus them situation. As much as I appreciate the support, I feel like I'm in some kind of valiant battle that just makes me more tired. So haven't been talking to anyone in my family. I feel lonely and crappy, but I think I made the right decision. Anyhow, not the most exciting update in the world, but hopefully everyone knows I'm not dead. I really do appreciate the support I've gotten. It made me smile during a really crappy time. And hey, if anybody in the greater Boston area wants an extra guest at Thanksgiving, let me know. Keep in mind this was several years ago. People want an update entitled or dated November 24th, so right before Thanksgiving 2021. Hi, some people are interested in an update. I'm spending Thanksgiving with a friend and her family, so I won't be alone. Thanks to everyone who offered to host me. It was so sweet. I would have offered if I was in the area. I'm still not in touch with my family, but I know that Ben and my sister are having problems. I know this because he showed up at my place and cried for 3 hours. I'm going to go to New Mexico in April. Planning is underway. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. And there's another update, January 1st, 2022, and it's entitled, I think my old ex sabotaged my relationship with my new ex. That's nice. To make a long story short, my 26 female breakup last summer with ex 26 X1 26 male was volcanic. I think we will call X20 X1 Eric and the other one Fred. Eric and Fred. To make a long story short, my breakup with last summer with Eric was volcanic. He is now expecting a baby with my stepsister in the next 6 weeks or so. Since I found out about the pregnancy, he's trying to get in touch with me 6 times through email, text, burner accounts. Has tried to get mutual friends to talk to me for him, and showed up at my place once. The latter was the only time I humored him. He told me he was sorry, he loves me, and he doesn't want to be with my stepsister and wants to get back together with me. Oh, heck no. I told him tough titties. Good for you, girl. You go. He made his bed and now he's going to lay in it with her. I haven't dated much since July because of my life's implosion, but in November a friend from college messaged me out of the blue. We hadn't talked in a long time. He, 27 male, referred to as Fred for the rest of the post, and Eric were good friends but had a falling out over some fantasy football related thing the year we graduated. But I stopped talking to him out of solidarity or whatever. Anyhow, we go out on a date, we click. We go out on a few more dates. We become exclusive in early December, and I was feeling really hopeful about this until this morning. I was supposed to meet Fred at a New Year's party last night. He got there before I left the house and texted me saying that Eric was at the party and asked whether I still wanted to come. I declined and went to another friend's house and had a pretty good time. I tried calling Eric, or no, Fred. I tried calling Fred at midnight, but he didn't pick up and I didn't think much of it. Anyhow, I go to bed late, and when I woke up this morning, I have a message from Fred saying we're done. I couldn't even respond because he blocked me everywhere. I talked to a friend. You know how it feels. I talked to a friend who was at the party that the exes were at last night, and he said the two of them spent a good chunk of time chatting with each other, but he didn't know what they were talking about. I'm not close with anyone else at the party, so I really don't have anyone else to ask. Like, okay, it was a 2-month relationship. I'm sad, but I'm not bereft. But the paranoid part of my mind is really concerned that Eric said something that resulted in Fred becoming ex number two. Fred has made abundantly apparent that he doesn't want to talk to me again, and I don't want to push that boundary. But I'm so confused. I could contact Eric, but I get the feeling that it would open a floodgate of drama. I could also try talking to other mutual friends to see if they've heard anything, but I also really don't want to spread this rumor if it wasn't true. I don't know. I'm at a loss. Any advice here? I'm spiraling, thinking that my ex is going to try and ruin every relationship I have the rest of my life. Um, the next update is January 16th, 2022. So, sorry, yeah. So 2 weeks after. I'm beginning to think that there's something wrong with me. My last two partners have cheated on me. The first one was a very serious relationship. We lived together. We talked about marriage, buying a house. He even took pictures of us as kids and photoshopped them together to show what our kids might look like one day. The result was terrifying but hilarious, and I had it as background on my phone for a month. I walked in on him sleeping with my stepsister. Now she's pregnant due in the near future, and he's with her. I know he's not happy. I know he regrets what he did. I know he loved me, and none of that stopped him from taking my sister to bed. I spent so long now being upset with her and writing him off as just a bad decision and a waste of time, but now I find myself mourning what we had. My stepsister and I grew up together and loved each other most of our lives and felt like that was a betrayal. It was. But he and I chose each other. Out of all the people on earth, we looked each other in the eyes and committed to each other and made the promise to stay faithful, and he lied. And he lied and he lied and he lied. And he let me go on loving him while he lied. Then a few months ago, another guy comes into my life, and for the first time in ages, I felt hopeful. I thought to myself maybe I could actually move on and live my life. I wasn't in love with him, but he was the kind of man I thought I could fall in love with. We were exclusive for about a month before we made the decision to be exclusive. I told him everything that happened with my first ex and told him I could never be with another cheater. I wake up on New Year's Day to a text saying we're done. When I tried to get in touch, I found out he blocked me everywhere. Turns out he met someone at the New Year's Eve party and hooked up with her. Instead of talking to me, telling me he just blocked me everywhere and sent a lackey to message me a few weeks later with the real story and a half-assed apology. I want to be angry, and maybe part of me is I'm sitting here just thinking, what if it's me? What if I'm just unlovable? What if it's never going to happen for me? No, you're just a bad picker. You're just as a child, but I got through and grew stronger. I'm pretty good looking now, although I admittedly put on a little weight in the past couple of weeks. I've been told that I'm fun, I hold down a good job, and I make decent money. I also live my life according to my values. I always put my family and partner first because that's how I believe it should be done. And I thought I would be prioritized and returned. I've lost most of my family because they'd rather have my stepsister's baby in their life than me. My friends have been fair weather for the most part, and I know that I'm a laughing stock in my friend group as much as they pretend to pity me to my face. I don't think that's true. I think that's just you feeling low. Your friends are probably fine. I feel a little spark I've always had fading. I don't chime in on conversations anymore. I've stopped putting on cute clothes when I go out. I don't plan anything I don't have to be disappointed about. Yeah, you're giving into depression and you need to go talk to somebody about that. Soon I'll be the same age as my mom when she died. I never knew her, but I've always loved her, thinking about her watching over me, and I don't remember the funeral, but it was one of those funerals where there wasn't a dry eye in the house. She lit up the room. People tell me she was a good woman. In my worst moments, I wonder what it would be like if I died right now. Would anyone cry? Would anyone care? Would anyone even come? Anyhow, sorry for writing the novella. I'm not sure what to do anymore, who to talk to. If you all read this, thank you. And I hope people reported that because Reddit has a thing where you can report when you think somebody is in danger of self harming. So That was January 16th, and our next update is May 30th, so that's 4.5 months later. Update-ish. Hello, folks. I thought that things on the internet died after a couple of days, so color me surprised when I still get requests for an update on the regular. Long story short, I don't have much to update. I didn't end up going to New Mexico because I conveniently got COVID the week before I was supposed to go. Ah, poor thing. The baby was had, but I have no contact with the baby or their parents. I've done a pretty good job of insulating myself from news about them and the rest of the family. My life is pretty much the same as it always was. So sorry to the folks who are hoping some kind of happy ending to slap on all this. Things are improving just because time barrels on and you grow numb to most things given enough time and distance. But I have no grand revelations and I have not met the love of my life or had an elaborate revenge on those who have wronged me. I'm going to Europe for the first time in October, though, so that's exciting. I think that's actually a good thing. I think people need time to heal. You need like 2 years in a serious relationship like she did. You really need 2 years to be yourself and in yourself and think about yourself and heal from the nonsense that happened. I will say this, while I appreciate the solidarity and sometimes colorful language to describe my sister and Ben in my DMs, I wholeheartedly ask everyone to read this, not waste their energy on hating them. They are now parents to a newborn, and regardless of things they've done in the past, I hope that they can come together as a happy family and raise their child in a loving, healthy home. Hating them doesn't do anything for anyone, including ourselves in the long run. Anyway, that's a non-update update. I promise if I meet the love of my life at the top of the Eiffel Tower or more likely stuffing my face with waffles and burgers, I will post another update. Until then, you can assume that I'm living, trying my best, and I'm very appreciative of all the people out there in the world who have read this saga, reached out and support, even if I have not had the energy. Next update was October 6th, 2020, October 16th. So this is like quite a bit. I just wanted to give a more recent, less depressing update. I'm currently in my hotel room in Paris eating a creme brulee in bed, reading a romance novel, about to go to sleep early, all is well. And then almost a year later, on September 9th, 2023. Howdy, it's been a while. Hello, so it's been a minute, and I still get messages from folks asking how I've been, and I'm up too early and little bored, so I thought I'd give you an answer. I'm good. I made a lot of really positive changes in my life, and I'm now in a much better place physically and mentally than I was last year. To answer some specific questions, no, I'm not in contact with my family. The last bra was in spring of 2022. My dad emailed me to ask if we could go get lunch and talk. Me, having always harbored secret and foolish hope that we'd reconcile and go back to normal, agreed. I arrived at the restaurant and waited 2 hours. Why? You wait half an hour and then you leave. When my server gave me a free dessert on the house with a pitying look, I called and went home. Called it and went home. Later, I got an email from my stepmom, which I'm sure was full of excuses, but I didn't read it. I'd still read it. I'd have read it. Just to see what I might not answer, but I would have read it. But the real positive outcome was that it made me realize that I needed to move far away and not come back, which I did. I'd always been really scared to move away from my family, but since I don't have one anymore, I ended up spontaneously moving halfway across the country. The spontaneous move was stressful and expensive, and I can't say that moving was one of the best decisions of my life. Oh, I can now say, sorry. The spontaneous move was stressful and expensive, but I can now say that it was one of the best decisions of my life. I ended up reconnecting with an old friend and falling in with her friend group, who are the loveliest people. I've never felt safer or more supported, and I feel so lucky to have them in my life, and it's less humid here, and that's a big win. I bet. As someone from Michigan who knows from humidity. Oh, one of my friends is a counselor who helped me find a therapist that I really clicked with. And it took a few tries and a therapist who didn't immediately want to do CBT with me, which just isn't my thing. But I found someone to really connect with, and now I'm doing IFS therapy, which I don't know what that is. And it's really changed my relationship with myself and made me realize all of the hurt and pain I've been holding on to and start to heal. So y'all were right that I needed to go to therapy. Told ya. Give yourselves a pat on the back for that one. I also got diagnosed with depression, which I also diagnosed her with depression. And I'm taking medication for that. It was a bit hard to stomach as someone who Always saw her value in being the happy person who takes care of everyone all the time. Being the happy person who takes care of everyone all the time is very draining and very depressing. But it turns out that sometimes when your needs aren't met as a kid, you end up being the happy person who takes care of everyone all the time because you're afraid to slow the slightest bit of happiness. You won't be loved anymore, and that's effed up. That is. I also met a guy. I know what you're saying. Papaya, no, your decision around men cannot be trusted. But I assure you he's different. Instead of rolling his eyes when I'm feeling off, he'd either just quietly lay on the couch with me or go for a walk or say really dirty things to me in his spot on Kermit the Frog voice until I'm laughing and I can't focus on anything. That's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. And bonus, he is far too busy painting D&D minis to find the time to cheat on me, so I'm not even worried about that. I did have to invest some in somewhat elaborate Renaissance fair costume, which is not something I imagined for myself, but I'm having a great time and I'm gonna marry this dude someday. Oh, that's so happy. As for Ben and my sister, as far as I know, they're still together. Every so often she tries to get in touch with some man or burner account, but I ignore all of it. I'm still bummed that I'm not going to be a part of my nebbling's life, and I do honestly still really miss my family, but I know this is right for me. Sorry I didn't have any salacious info on them since I know you're all ready to hear about their karmic downfall or whatever. But on my end, things are good. Better than they were before I found out I was being cheated on. My current life is built on real commitment and not fear disguised as shallow happiness. It is not perfect, and I have a lot of problems that I'm working through, but I'm proud of myself, and I think my mom would be too. So that's the update. I think it's going to be my last one, at least on this account. Thanks, Reddit, for supporting me and making me smile through some of the worst and weirdest points of my life. May you too be blessed with internet strangers who cheer you on and offer to sabotage the lives of the people who do you wrong. Comments, quote, I think it's going to be my last one, at least on this account. Girl, no, we need more juice. I hope you keep posting about your life when you get married and have kids. I'm so happy for you. A few days ago, while scrolling through Reddit, I randomly remembered your post and was thinking, what's going on? I'm sorry your deadbeat dad failed you, but don't worry, he will have his wake up call someday. I hope those crappy family of yours is blocked. As for Ben and your stepsis, I have a tinted feeling that the reason she's trying to contact you is because she's messed up with Ben. I'm glad you are doing therapy, and I wish you nothing but endless joy and happiness. I hope you build a nice family with that guy and have children with him or whatever you decide. Yeah. As much as I want to get tea from your evil stepsis, it's good that you do not have any information about her or Ben. The farther you stay away from them, the better. I'm wondering why the stepsister's still bothering to contact OP. Like, what does she need? Money? Probably just wanting to reestablish the relationship so she can feel good about herself. See, we still talk. What I did wasn't that bad. Too bad for her. There are some things that you just can't come back from. And a mini update on May 19th, 2024. New update starts here. I'm engaged. When told not to call her family, OOP. Wasn't planning to, but they already found out because the internet is a menace. My dad apparently is having a total hissy fit because my fiance didn't ask his permission. Oh well, sucks to suck, I suppose. Good for you. Oh, I'm so happy for OP. I'm so happy for this guy who did not ask her dad for permission. Um, yeah. I mean, my daughter's now husband asked us for our blessing, not permission, but our blessing. But we like him and we like our daughter, so it's completely different. And we would have always said yes. We've known him since they were freshmen in high school, if not, well, actually, even earlier than that. All right, this is from Made Me Smile. That was longer than I expected. I was gonna do some other ones, but right now we are just doing this, I guess. So maybe I have sound today because I didn't have sound. You guys might have had sound, but I didn't have sound the other day. Um, yeah, share the screen. It's in That's awesome. And he's happy. Yeah. My My grandson was into pink for a while. I get it. He'll grow out of it and want blue next year. It'll be fine. It's fine anyway. He doesn't have to not like blue. He can like pink his whole life, and that'll be fine too. It doesn't matter. It's just a color. All right, that's all I got for today because I am tired now. Um, well, I have the kids, so I'm extra tired now. I hope everybody has a good day. I will be back tomorrow at the regular time, noon Eastern. Have a good day, my biddies. I love you all. Take care. Yeah, I gotta find the. Yeah, there we go. Bye. Bye, biddies.